Rush Limbaugh's death after more than 3 decades as the brash and provocative host of his nationally syndicated talk show marks the silencing of a broadcasting pioneer who was a leading voice of the modern conservative movement. "When we started this, nobody in the industry said it would work," Limbaugh told Forbes in 1994, the year he first appeared alongside Oprah Winfrey, Tom Cruise and other celebrities among the Forbes ranking of the world's highest-paid entertainers. Now every radio station looks for the next great salvation in syndicated radio. Limbaugh was there at the start of a fresh boom in syndicated radio with a bombastic style that enraged progressives and captivated conservatives, helping bring about the rise of right-wing radio. More than any other figure, he revived AM radio at a time when FM had captured the ears of music listeners, and gave Americans who felt marginalized a reason to tune in. The longtime broadcaster disclosed his cancer diagnosis last February, and occasionally shared health updates with his listeners, though he refused to devote too much airtime to his personal struggle, saying he was not alone in facing the disease. His wife announced his death Wednesday morning at the start of the show he'd hosted since 1988. His pioneering approach brought immense success. Limbaugh was first ranked among the world's highest-paid entertainers in 1994 at No. 36 with pretax earnings of $25 million. He's been a fixture on the rankings since then and last year ranked No. 11 with pretax earnings of $85 million. In all, Limbaugh has talked his way to pre-tax earnings of $1.1 billion, according to Forbes estimates, which also do not factor in personal spending and professional costs, which would consume a substantial portion of that income. The Rush Limbaugh Show could be heard on more than 600 radio stations across the premier radio networks, a subsidiary of iHeartMedia, regularly attracting 15 million listeners. He was a prolific writer, penning a number of history books for young readers, and 2 New York Times bestsellers, The Way Things Ought to Be and See, I Told You So. Limbaugh was drawn to radio at an early age. He landed a part-time job at the local station near his hometown of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, where he worked as a helper before eventually graduating to disc jockey. "I was totally consumed," he said in one 1990 interview, noting he'd drop by the station before and after school. Disdainful of school, he once referred to it as prison. Limbaugh dropped out of college after a year and tried to break into radio, landing and losing jobs as he tried out different broadcast styles. At one point he pronounced he'd give up the mic forever, and took a job with the Kansas City Royals baseball team. He quit that job after 5 years and returned to the broadcasting booth.